So starting off this week, I made a sausage pasta salad from my Leon Happy Salads cookbook. I just roasted off some broccoli and sausages. I put them all in together and threw some seasoning over the top. Then I made up this really simple honey mustard dressing. I didn't actually follow the exact ingredients because I didn't want to add loads and loads of oil into mine. So this is just honey, 2 different types of mustard, frozen garlic and lime juice with some salt and pepper. Worked really well, and you don't need all the oil that they say. Then I just softened off some leeks. It actually said in the recipe, soften your leeks in boiling water for a couple of minutes. I think they meant actually have it on the hob and the water be boiling. I just put them in a bowl. But they did soften anyway because we were going to fry them afterwards. But after I'd done this, I realised what it actually meant. So yeah, I got my griddle pan out and just let them brown on each side, seasoned them with a little bit of salt, and I kind of dry fried them because I didn't want them to be all oily again. I just can't stand pasta salads when they're just dripping with grease. Once my pasta was cooked, again I used what I had in. It was like a tricolour one. I didn't have the ditalini that you were supposed to use, but it worked really well. So I added my pasta, then I added the chopped up sausages, the cooked broccoli and leeks, and my dressing, mixed it all together. And we topped it off with some fried sage leaves. The sage leaves were supposed to be almost deep fried in butter. I did them in spray oil because I only had clover and I didn't think it'd work. They came out okay. They were a little bit bitter. I absolutely love sage, but I don't know if I really like fried burnt fresh sage. I'd possibly leave that out. If you are interested, I can do a full recipe on this step-by-step guide. I absolutely loved it, and surprisingly the cold broccoli and leeks and sausage all went together really well, and yeah, big hit. So at the weekend we decided to make some white chocolate blondies. I have got the full video making these on my channel. I will leave it linked down below. It's quite an old one. It's actually an advert for the stand mixer that I'm using in this video. So I'll just take you through the ingredients, and then it's pretty straightforward. You add most of the stuff together at once into the stand mixer and then put it in an oven tray and pop it in the oven. I think I did mine on 195 for around 25 to 30 minutes until they're slightly undercooked, and then you just leave them to cool. So for the ingredients you will need 250 grams of brown sugar, 225 grams of melted butter, 100 grams of normal sugar. We've got 285 grams of plain flour, some vanilla extract. We need 2 teaspoons of corn flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and around 115 grams of white chocolate. I'm also adding a cup of chopped walnuts, 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk, and I think that's pretty much all the ingredients. So recently I did a 4 low-cost family recipe video, and this is the leftovers from that. We've got some of the honey chili chicken with rice, and then we've got some of the honey mustard chicken tray bake. I just put it all together on one plate and it made another meal. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure to go and check it out. I will leave it linked down below for you. And for our next meal I decided to make some enchiladas, and before anyone says anything, don't worry, I never ever use this chopping board just for fish. It seems such a waste because when do you ever really chop fish? So it's always been used for vegetables. And I also apologise for the snoring in the background. My dog is really on one at the moment, so you can probably hear her dulcet tones. So this is just normal enchiladas. I just used 2 of the old El Paso kits. I always make 2 so that we have leftovers, and I won't take you through the whole process. It's really simple. I even actually used frozen peppers for this one as well, so it was really quick to do and really tasty. One of our favourites. Just served it with a little salad where I put some lettuce, cucumber, red onion, grated carrot, and then some sesame oil and some red wine vinegar for a dressing with some salt and pepper. Really simple, really tasty, and a perfect family meal. So I'm just going to make some of my smoked mackerel pate or mousse, whatever you want to call it. Basically it is literally just some smoked mackerel fillets. I'm going to use some lightest herb Philadelphia. You can use whichever one. Sometimes I just buy the cheap one. The lightest was on offer, so I got that. And I always add lime juice. I add lime juice to everything, so there's no surprise there. I pop it all in my little chopper blitzer thing. Probably add a little bit of cayenne, and that's pretty much it. You don't really need salt. So this little thing's got a blade in it. I've made this loads of times, and this is the kind of thing that I will have on Rivita or on some toast. It also goes really nicely stirred into pasta. Let me move you up a little bit. Stir it into pasta. It makes a really nice smoky creamy mackerel pasta. And you can also eat that cold, stir it into cooked rice. Really, really versatile, and works out so much cheaper doing it this way. There's so much more flavour than if you buy one in the supermarket. So I'm going to use the whole tub, and I think I'm going to use both pieces of mackerel. Although you would definitely get away with using just one if you wanted to make it a little bit cheaper. I like it a bit stronger. And it's also freezable, so I'll often make this. I used to make it with smoked salmon trimmings at like every Christmas, but smoked salmon trimmings seem really hard to come by these days. A lot harder than they used to be, and they also are a lot more expensive. But if I ever do see, excuse the dishwasher, perfect timing. If I ever do see smoked salmon trimmings, then yeah, I will buy them and make it with that. So good. And you can also use it as a dip if you want to dip like cucumber or carrots or peppers into it. All I'm going to do, I'm going to take the skin off. So skin on there, I'm just going to remove that. I will probably let the dogs have a little bit of that because they love it. And just break it up and throw it in. Pop that all in there. Wash my hands before I touch anything else. Squeeze of lime. And there. Just blitz it up. And not the most appetising looking, but there you go, you have a really nice smoked mackerel pate. It literally takes seconds to make, and it's so much nicer than the shop bought. So tonight's dinner, I'm just keeping it real. Even though they are 13, 17 and 18, I still sometimes cook them all completely separate dinners. I haven't actually well, I have cooked separate dinners. I've already made this one today for a video, the tuna rice. So if you haven't seen that, make sure to go and check out that video in my budget video. We have burgers to use up in the fridge. So Jake's got burgers and chips. Bailey's having tuna and egg fried rice with broccoli. And Oscar's got a jacket with cheese and beans. And that's what they all fancy, so that's what they're having. And then Steve and I are going to have something else later. So we decided to just have some very beige looking picky bits in the lounge. We were watching a movie, so we just lit some candles. The dogs were waiting patiently for some pizza there, and I just did some dips, some sourdough, some little cheese balls, some crisps, and yeah, we just sat and had a really nice Friday evening. It's what you do.